We are back to Breakdown Boys Wade Sensei.
Whoops.
We have heard your pleas for the series that you all love and enjoy. I don't even know how this is going to go because the last time we tried this, we got bopped by YouTube, but we're going to do it anyway, man.
Bro, we got this. Trust.
Should I do the thing?
What's the...
You know, I bring out the sexy voice and I'm about to dive in.
Oh, yes.
Maybe don't hold your breath. Okay. We are deep diving back again.
Don't make me pull out my TikTok dances.
I know, we don't, you know what I'm saying? The people ain't ready for all that.
Ain't ready for all that.
We are back on the deep dive, and I think we're at the Jake Paul and Nate Robinson fight, which is, I just said this right before we started, one of my favorite arcs of YouTube boxing. This is kind of where my arc in YouTube boxing started to rise as well, right? But it is just one of the craziest things in the history of YouTube boxing is that we got a Jake Paul and Nate Robinson fight, and that, you know, I will say this now, leading into the one we'll probably do after this. People thought it would be competitive.
Yep.
Craziness.
I thought so.
I did not. As soon as I saw what was
Wait,
going down.
This was after Gibb, yes?
After Gibb.
Yeah. See, I thought. Never mind.
Yeah. So
No, I'm just kidding. I'm saying I just thought that Nate. You know, I'm like, he gotta have some training.
well,
Why
we
else would
knew
he take
Nate.
the fight?
We knew Nate Robinson from our childhood playing basketball. He actually was I don't know if people know this. He was a college football player.
That's right. Yes.
Played corner at the University of Washington, D1.
Washington.
That's
Yep,
no
monster.
joke, man. Come on.
No joke.
So yeah, this is around the 2020 timeframe. COVID is in full force, and we are getting Jake Paul's rise. This is when he started saying, "Okay, I'm gonna take this boxing thing to the next level. I'm gonna really take it seriously." And apparently, he's locked away in his Lego mansion in Los Angeles with BJ Flores, just training and training and training.
Right.
Do you remember when this fight got announced? What you thought of the situation?
Yeah, my immediate thought is like, oh, let's see. I wanted to investigate Nate because we at this point, we knew what Jake was going to bring.
Right. We knew at that point Jake had
But
hands.
I just assumed, Nate got to have some training. Maybe he grew up boxing. His dad boxed, and you know what I'm saying? Because he has like the boxing stature. You know what I'm saying? That
right.
short, stocky, like running back build where could be like really fast and strong. Like, okay, maybe you know what I mean. Maybe he has hands because there's been other athletes that have had experience. So I'm like, I just assumed guys that cross train and stuff like that maybe for years. I said okay, but
was this around the time where Jake was like calling out other influencers too, like you, for example, or?
Yep, that was.
This was around this time, right?
Because it was after Gibb.
Okay, right? So he I remember Fousey was a big leader in the clubhouse. Right. And we actually, by the way, we have to, if we're going to do the Wayback Machine and go back to this point, we actually have his call out of you that just kind of resurfaced. Do you see this?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, I remember that.
Let's watch this. And I want to know, like, from your point of view, how this even, like, happened.
Well, people were asking for it because
it was like he was doing polls and stuff and your name kept getting brought up.
Right.
Okay.
Because I fought over Flo.
Yeah.
And I was like, he beat Gibb.
Yeah.
And, it was just like in the pool of names of like
who's a potential name, right?
Dangerous influencer boxer, right?
Right.
I was in there. So I think it got posed, like the name got posed to him. At this time, right, there's like people in the similar circles,
Face Sensei name right now, all-time high, you would say?
What is this?
Outside of course, the takeover breakdown that we're doing here, but yes.
Yeah, obviously JJ, then when this happened,
yeah,
probably, yeah.
Let's take a look at this, man, because this is a crazy thing to see. How many years later? 3 years later.
This is after we DM'd as well, I think.
And what was said, if you don't mind sharing in the DM?
Yeah, no, I know. I've talked about it before. It was like he put a list out.
Yeah.
And I think there was like Jeff Wittick on the list or something like that too.
Okay.
And I remember being like, bro, is this a I asking him if he was being genuine because I didn't know like on the list because I'm like, is this a legit? Like, is this legit?
Yeah.
You know, because if this is the case, like this would be like, I'm down,
right?
You know, type thing.
Right.
And like the other guys, it makes sense. Like let's do this, you know.
Yeah.
And he said something funny, like some smart ass comment, like
okay.
I forget. Like you've been clearly been hit in the head 2 times. It's called marketing or something like that. Like so because we were going back and forth, and I remember being like, bro, I don't know. Like I was just saying, like, you know what I mean?
I'm just trying to figure it out, bro. If it's marketing, cool. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, but I'm like people because at the time people weren't taking him seriously because remember he said like the Chris Brown. I'm like, and I was being like
Soldier Boy, yeah.
I'm like, this list looks crazy,
right?
And I'm like, bro, like, you know what I mean?
What are we
like,
doing here? Well, here was
his
like
Banks. By the way, sorry, like Banks. Remember there was a beef between him and Banks?
Oh yeah. That was around this time.
So what I'm saying is, like, FaZe was like, bro, if you said that you can get this, we're gonna back this 100. So it was like a big thing at the time,
for sure. Know? Here was his public response to you.
FaZe Sensei, he's got to get it, bro. Kid is a joke. Like I would beat the brakes off of him. Yeah. Like, and it's funny because like he named himself like.
I love this part. I love it.
Right. Like, and then because of that, everyone thinks he could fight. Like, oh, he's FaZe Sensei, and it's like, okay, bro, he sucks. Like he is garbage.
FaZe Sensei has had some kickboxing matches in which he got his ass up. This guy doesn't scare me at all. I'm faster, I'm stronger, I'm more athletic. People like to be like, oh, Jake, you're going to die because he's a black belt. Like, cool. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm a fighter. I will knock his ass out with a left hook.
FaZe Sensei.
Interesting, bro. It's a lot.
I know the left hook, too.
The left hook part. He's super specific there, you know?
I remember, I remember being like, oh, thank you so much, Jake. Like, I was so hyped, dude. Because I'm like, I haven't made a video in like probably 2 weeks or 2 months. Same thing to me at that time.
Facts.
Bro, so I was like, all right, bro.
He said he was more athletic than you, too. You heard that.
I know. I was like, that's wild. I forget what I said, too, but I was like, that's wild. You got a left hook? Like, you got more athletic? What are we saying here, bro? I remember that, dude.
What we saying before the
But I was like,
started.
the kickboxing fight, I was like, listen, if you fight Giogros right now from Greece, he would tear you up. So, come on now.
What we saying?
What are you talking about?
That's
it's a pro
crazy.
kickboxing match.
Yeah, the funny part, too, he's like, he calls himself, he named himself Sensei.
And I'm like, I am a sensei guy. Oh,
I don't know
man.
if you know how this works, bro. But instead, he ends
I
up
didn't
doing
take anything
else.
personally, even at that time. At that time, though, dude, I remember being genuinely, like, oh, this is good.
No, it's the way you always are.
Like, this is YouTubing right now, dude.
Yeah.
We are YouTubing.
That's the way you always
YouTubes.
are. Like, I'll do stuff and I'll take it personally when people get upset about stuff, and you're like, oh, no, bro, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're so, like, disconnected from it, which is perfect.
Yeah, it's like when we argue about sports, or like when I argue with my boy about Madden, bro. Yeah. It's like, to me, it's like the same thing. Yeah. It's not. This ain't like, you know what I'm saying?
It's not life and death.
For me, at least, right? Because I think because of it doesn't affect like my channel.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Because I don't have one right now, so it's like whatever. You know what I mean?
FaZe Sensei return 2024. We're getting it. But he ends up choosing Nate Robinson, right? And then comes the marketing, because obviously you don't understand a lot about that. You've been hit in the head too many times.
I know nothing.
That's what Jake told you. Here is the undercard, by the way, on Triller's big debut. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. in the main event. Jake Paul, Nate Robinson in the co-main, son. And this is where I started covering YouTube boxing more consistently. And it started with these I Will Not Lose episodes 1, 2, all these different ones.
I forgot that was on the undercard.
Craziness, dude. Let's take a look at some of these. We're not going to watch all of it, but let's take a look at some of the stuff here from the lead-up trailers to Jake versus Nate. Okay, before we even start, I don't know, is that supposed to be a gym?
I don't know what's going on.
This was Nate's gym, apparently, that he trained in, which is essentially someone's backyard. We should have known right here. People should have known right here. It was over.
This should have been it.
They've been putting me through hell, which I need
It's nothing, man.
to prepare myself for victory.
You know, I like.
When you saw the first couple of shots, what did you think?
Started to get worried.
Yeah.
I
wasn't.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, exactly. It was intriguing, but at the same time, it was like.
I was like, oh, let's go.
No, you didn't get
Nate.
that fire in your belly like, yeah, Nate's going to do this, you know?
No, we were holding out hope.
And I think that's the perfect way to put it. And I think he may have. I think he really genuinely thought this is going to be enough.
Yeah.
And I think these fools did too.
Really learning what it's like to come from like nothing. You know,
I like that
what
though.
It's like
I remember liking that.
I was like, all right, you know.
Okay. That gave me a little bit of confidence.
Athleticism.
They keeping me young. At 36 years old, man, I know a lot of guys that.
He was 36. I did not remember that, bro.
See, what happens is when we rooting for somebody, we just gloss over things.
I'm saying, man, you don't pay attention.
We miss all the red flags.
Forgot. So
36. Dang,
it is a running meme at this point for influencer boxers taking on older fighters, and Jake being one of the catalysts, obviously. But Nate was 36. Askren was what? 38, 39? Woodley was 40. Anderson Silva was 46.
Don't be talking about Anderson like that.
I'm just giving you the numbers, though. I'm just giving the numbers. Yeah, that was Jake's run right there. Until he gets to Tommy, right? And then Tommy's 23. But
yeah, but at the time,
you're not looking at the number
sense, though,
because the number doesn't tell the story as much.
Right. Because Jake, he beat Gibb and Deji.
Facts.
He works on technique, proper form, power, and all that stuff. You know, he'll have you in there throwing 1 or 2, maybe 3 punches, but those punches have.
This is where it started to fall apart for me. When you had him start to move a little bit, and I know it doesn't seem like a lot when we watch it in just these clips.
And all that stuff.
When I'm watching Nate move, not just punch standing,
maybe 3 punches,
where he has to
but
move.
Those punches have to be.
That's where it started to fall apart for me.
You know, use your whole body and stuff.
I was like,
when I get in there, I'll start going explosive, get some explosive out of him, get speed out of him. You know, 6 punch combination. Just keep going. Get some speed going.
Bring it home, Nate. Shock the world. All right, so that was Nate.
Thought at the time that the athleticism would pose, you know, the footwork, the ability to get.
You thought he can make up the gaps a little bit, you know?
Make it up to make it competitive.
I think we need to hit a team dance. Yeah, roll the Triller. Come on, shout out to Triller, bro. We need to go viral on Triller right now.
So this is Jake.
I was hoping it was competitive. Let me say
right.
that.
No, of course. I think everybody was hoping it was because it's Nate Robinson. He's such a nice guy. He's a legend. He's been a part of our childhood. This is Jake coming out of his YouTuber phase into his boxing phase. So you still get like literal problem child. Like I can say now he's like problem man child. You know, like he plays the character.
Yeah.
This is the character he's now playing. This is him back then, which is hilarious to go back and watch.
I'm dead.
Hold on. Let me look. Look right here, my man BJ.
Look at
Flores.
BJ. Look at BJ.
BJ vibing, son. Look at him. Watch him.
Okay.
Oh my God, man. Oh God. I love it.
Unique New York. Hi, I'm Jake Paul, and I'm a landscaper, and I will mow your lawn.
Classic Jake right there.
This is Jake, man. This is him.
My back hurts.
It does?
My back hurts.
What? Tell us.
My back hurts from carrying the fucking promotion. I like to use orange tape. It's like a basketball. So
Planting the seeds there already with the basketball talk. But let's take a look at
regular tape straight to the skin. What are you saying?
Gangster, son.
Damn.
But Vegas has its advantages with sparring
Oh
partners.
yeah, he was at Bones Adams. That's right. They were in Vegas for this.
And being the boxing
That's where I
capital of
sparred
the world.
Gibb.
And I'm at a
Yep,
different level.
Bones
now.
Adams, legendary gym.
And so in Big Bear, I only had like 2 or 3 sparring partners. But here, I've probably sparred 20 people already.
Remember
in the
this?
past couple
Oh,
of
remember
weeks.
this?
The
Yes.
guy that was like, "Yo, I'll box your guy."
Knocked his
like-
tooth out, I think.
Knocked his tooth out. The guy who had no idea what he was doing, and Jake just put
No.
it on him, dude.
I am BJ Flores. I am Jake's head trainer.
Talk to him,
I've been training
BJ.
Jake for about 12 months now, about 11 months for his last camp. Whenever he was up in Big Bear before the Anderson Gibb fight, with the work we put in over the last 12 months, this fight's not going to go long at all. So, like I said, I respect Nate. He's working his ass off. I respect that. He's a professional athlete. Obviously, he knows how to get to the highest level at what he's done, but this is a completely separate thing.
I'm the best, baby. Nate Robinson. Your dad.
All right, so that's
He
episode
was
1.
speaking facts the whole time.
Yeah, bro, they knew.
Later, I wonder if we're gonna find out here that Nate like sparred twice or something.
I still subscribe to the idea that he never sparred.
Right.
I don't know that I'm right about that, but watching him made me think he never had.
Paul has never fought a real athlete. Jake Paul has never done this.
So call out somebody that, you know, I'm not going for the bullshit. So I'm with all the smoke.
And Mike Tyson and Triller, they called me up. They're like, yo, we got a fight for you. Do you
So
wanna-"
inadvertently, Nate Robinson created this monster, not the other way around.
It was and Jake was answering the bell because they were like fight a real athlete, someone who's athletic, you know, because they were knocking Gibb for that at that time.
Yep. Like you ain't
Like
fight a
someone your
real
size,
athlete. You ain't fight
even
someone
though
that's
Nate's smaller, but still, but
But yeah, you ain't fighting an athlete. You ain't fighting someone that could get in there with you and move, you know what I'm saying, and be more athletic.
he's like, all right, bet.
make this happen?
Dang.
I was like, let's get it.
It's gonna be a great opportunity, you know, for, you know, 2 different guys in 2 different, you know, sides of the spectrum to really get after it. You know, his side is, you know, green, grass, watered. Mine, on the other hand, muddy, you know, gritty. It's a little different, and you know.
What's Nate talking about right now? Whoa.
I think he's saying Jake, you know, he comes from the suburbs or something, and he's
That's cool and everything, but it ain't got nothing to do with you can't box and he can, dog. His side green grass and water, and I come from the mud and grit. You gonna need more than that, fella.
Underestimating.
Fire songs, we just can't use any of it.
I know.
You know, there are some people that argue that this era of Jake was better technically. And I disagree with
No.
all of that. But I think they look at him on his mitt work during this time and how tight and composed he was on the mitts, and then obviously the complete difference in expectation versus reality.
Yeah, an opponent.
100%. That's what I mean. Like, the expectation of Nate Robinson was far different from the reality. And from
Right.
Jake. Like, Jake surprised you at this point. We've seen him so much now, it's not surprising. But I do hear this a lot. I hear this all the time. Like, oh, man, Jake versus Gibb, Jake versus Nate, he was so much more crisp and clean. And I'm like, you're not watching what's happening.
No.
You're seeing one side of things, whereas there's 2 people in a fight and the competition's elevating.
Yeah, it's easy to look good or look smooth when someone's not applying any pressure or, you know, inflicting any danger.
With people who know what they're doing, you know, we might not have no names and stuff like that, but everybody I got and everybody we've been sparring.
I'm not a big fan of training like this for a beginner.
I agree.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Because
what are we working on? What are we working on?
He's doing skill work that he can't use yet.
Exactly.
Putting him in there.
We're doing flashy pads like Floyd does.
Makes you think you can use it.
Exactly.
You try and
your
get
rhythm.
cracked.
Exactly. You're throwing for rhythm and for camera and for fluidity that he doesn't have yet without those mitts in front of him and with someone in front of him.
Yeah, and that's a rhythmic routine drill instead of a reaction-based drill.
Yeah, bro.
names and stuff like that. But everybody I got and everybody we've been sparring.
I guess it's all cool. It looks great. You know what I'm saying? For the cam, that looks dope.
You know, people think that we're
stuff like that's more useful.
Fighter, but he's not a top-notch fighter. It's boxing. You're getting punched in the face. You gotta be a dog in there. You gotta be a smart one too. You know, you gotta be able to
man just got done
know how to
freaking
use that
parasailing.
anger and that frustration to try to knock somebody out and be smart about it. Because you know, you get in there wild or something, you get caught with something and fight's over.
You can see it in Nate's eyes, his face. You know, he wants to fight. He wants to win. You know, and he doesn't just want.
This was tough.
See, I figured they were just sparring, like going crazy, doghouse. You know what I mean?
The way this
That's what I
guy's
figured.
talking, facts. But the thing is, this is what's tough, is they put this sad music on it, and they're like trying to. And by the way, Triller for this lead up did very well. This is great.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
Great production.
Where has this gone with the build up to influencer boxing? Where has this shit gone? This is amazing, dude. But when you put the sad music on, you're like, Nate wants this. Nate, he needs to fight. And then we, in retrospect, know how it went. It's brutal, man.
If maybe that's how they're over there working out their neck muscles or jaw muscles, you know. But
hey yo,
wow,
hey yo,
I'm not worried about that. We're in here working.
I mean, at that age, you know, you can't really blame a kid that, you know, he doesn't have things to humble him. You know what I'm saying? He's
that's what I'm saying, man.
And you know, that's fine. It's cool. You know, but you know, at some point, you know, he's gonna experience it, and hopefully, it's me giving him a taste of that humble pie, man. That's my job to serve him that.
Personally, not really.
He was right, just not about himself. Like everything Nate says there is right. Jake did need someone to humble him. All of us do. And Jake did end up running to it. He's like, hopefully it's me.
Nope. Like predominant trait of Jake Paul, the problem child, I would have to say his work ethic. I think like it don't matter what it is.
Always comes back to it, man. For the two guys at the top of the scene, it always comes back to it. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be in the, you know, everybody says this, but you don't have to be the most talented, the most athletic, the most anything gifted wise. What you can make up for in work ethic is astronomical. It's crazy.
Yeah, this dedication.
It's nuts. And us
plus,
saying
plus
it,
some genetics, you know, and good coaching. Some good strategy.
Yeah, you have to have some bit of that.
Dedication. But
that third piece, man, I would say if it's a pie chart, we're talking 75% those other things.
Yeah.
25% talent, 25% like somewhere in there's talent, skill, predisposition, physical traits, and 75% is straight work ethic. Straight up. It's crazy, man.
You know, we're 2 times, 3 times a day with the film every single day, so we're staying on it.
He's fucking dedicated. We're out
here
fucking middle of Red Rock.
Freaking military, dude. That's how Jake has, like, I think when I was down there in Puerto Rico, I asked him about this, and he's like, I like to treat things like a military thing, like a military boot camp almost. He's like, I almost want a drill sergeant as a coach.
Right.
And he was like, even, you know, he was the guy that was saying, if I didn't do this, I would have been a Navy SEAL. And while at the time I was like, yeah,
wow.
all right. You know what I'm saying? All right, whatever. You look at Jake's, again, his work ethic, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
You know, if there were guys that were going to be that.
And he looks forward to that regimen.
Yeah.
It takes away a lot of the.
That's why.
Structure you have to come up with yourself.
I remember, again, it's little bits and pieces, but I was down there in Puerto Rico, and he had Bob Santos there. Or at least, you know, coming in, and that's how I met Bob. And ended up, Bob Santos is coaching a lot of the guys on Jake's Most Valuable Prospects card now. But I ended up asking him why he didn't go that route. He's like, it didn't feel like a drill sergeant to me. I was like, interesting. Because Bob's a 20, 30-year vet, world champs under his belt.
Right.
And he was just like, no, I needed that. I needed more of a specific deal. And then he went with Danny Smith, drill sergeant. Made sense, you know.
You know, when you're a YouTuber, your goal when you wake up to make a video that day is to get as many views as possible. So you're gonna film some boring shit, or you're gonna film some that people want to actually see. That's where the antics
you've been planting the seeds there. Visual cues.
Wow,
son.
Taking shots.
You gonna film some boring shit? KSI doing a Reddit reacts. Interesting. Even then, and you know that there was some creative process that Jake had behind this. So of course he's like, yo, put in a KSI thing right here. Genius.
Wow.
Storytelling, man.
Marketing genius.
Oh, yeah. Show us more of that real Nate stuff. Okay, tween, behind the back. Show us that. That's what we want to see. Dunk that shit, Nate. Oh, he's like that, bro. He's like that. He's like that. Now, that shirt is foreshadowing to its finest.
Oh, what is that?
It's Nate, but Jake is on the ground here. It's a shirt he wears. On fight night, they wear this same shirt, but it says Nate Robinson has a dude face planted, and it's perfect foreshadowing for what we would get.
No.
It's hilarious, dude. I just remembered seeing that.
Because I don't think he can go play basketball in the NBA. I don't think he can play football in the NFL. I don't think he can go play Major League Baseball, and I can do all those things.
Yeah, I would agree with 2 out of 3. I don't know how good of a player in baseball Nate was, but for him to talk that confidently and seeing how good of a player he was in football, and
he could have played. He could have played in the NFL.
Could have been in the NFL. I'm pretty sure he was all Pac-12 at Washington, so he was cold.
He's with his family, his friends, people he doesn't know. He's always the same. He's just a genuine person. He cares a lot about people, and about the people that surround him.
I'm just gonna say this.
I think that's the most.
Just like on fight night, all his team standing around there shooting basketball, ain't no one hitting shit. Bunch of bricks. You heard that in the background? That freaking rim banging.
Clank. And what are we talking about here? What does that have to do with boxing? You know
bro.
what I mean?
They're trying to make the connection between Nate as an athlete and Nate as a boxer by taking him to the basketball court and highlighting that side of him. But the problem is there is no connection. None.
Yeah. No.
Almost zero. If you're going to show the athleticism, show it in the boxing side.
That's your job. That's your life, being behind the camera. Me personally, I just don't do the fake, but
oh no,
all the prank calls and all the funny, goofy you've been posting on the gram, man. It's just understand that that I've seen it all, heard it all, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it November 28th, bro. So come ready.
You get the idea heading into this, and I hate that they gave that big monologue from Nate because, God, it just sounds so much worse when he's like, yeah, I don't do that behind the camera. We real over here, none of that fake. When you get hit, you got to come back. You got to hit harder. Like, it's a dog fight. It's not a dog fight. But,
bro, is he really not sparring?
Sensei, you're going to find out right now because here is the full fight. All right. So here we are on fight night. Remember, COVID era. So even though, and this
it's empty.
It's empty, and we still are wearing our masks with no one.
Dude, that was a wild time.
It was crazy, dude. It was wild. But you know what I will say? The set design for this was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, what happened to Triller?
I don't know.
I know
Great question.
Aren't
they doing the triad thing now? The triangle?
No. They own BKFC, I think.
Oh, that's what it is.
But man, granted, the Ben Askren fight and the lineup and the musical performances was awful.
Oh, that was trash.
It was terrible. But this was
basura.
Amazing, dude. Look at the LED board and look at the lights. How close! It was so dope, bro. I know that had to be hot in there, but that just was a dope look. You know what I mean?
I forgot that.
And look at the way it looks too. Like usually you don't have that kind of lighting system. Usually it's on the outside of the ring facing in, not straight down. So it gives you this cool little like ambient look, you know?
Yeah, it's like some futuristic thing, dude.
Isn't it? It looks like they're like actual warriors about to go at it, and it's like a movie or something. I don't know. Do you remember your prediction? Did you think Jake was going to stop him?
Probably. I just thought Nate was gonna make it more difficult, but I was like, this could go bad quick. You know?
I thought I thought Jake was gonna stop him. I just don't. Again, people at this time did not realize what Jake was, even off the Gibb fight, and there was a lot of emphasis put behind the athlete, and also we're gonna get to the tweet after, but also the support of the NBA, man.
Oh man,
so much support.
I just thought Nate would be better.
The thought you had about Nate, I had, and then some about Ben Askren. But this was not in any way what I thought from Nate. I thought Nate was going to be in real trouble, and you can already see it. Bro.
Already,
you can already see it. Dog.
No,
it's already bad. Just a couple of feints, and you see the real Nate come out. That right there, buddy, is when you knew it was over.
You know,
one more time. Shut up, people. Shut up, people.
He's doing some He's doing some karate moves, man.
I'm
a karate guy.
He's doing karate before you actually get trained in the art. These are the guys that I did karate back in the day.
He looks like a matador right now.
Oh, buddy.
Landed a left hook. Okay.
Look at this right here. Whoa. That leaping in. That left hook lands. And you know what?
The athleticism.
Right. There is something to be said for.
Like, okay, all right, Nate.
For just like if you don't have a plan, and now we're southpaw. Good Lord.
Oh, that punch.
Jake barely misses him, but oh my Lord.
He gave him that speed, bro. That speed hook. That's what it was. Look.
And then he said, the double hook. But the thing is, there is something to be said for
lunging left hook. What was that?
There's something to be said for if you're Nate, if you have no plan, be as erratic as possible, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
If you don't have anything, then just be erratic and walk forward. And buddy,
that was right. That was it. We knew right there.
That's the shot. And to be fair, the way Jake threw his overhand was so odd. I mean, the freaking Eiffel Tower with it.
Oh, bro. He literally goes tricep extension, bro.
Kickbacks.
He goes, boom. And then, Hadouken.
He said, I'm about to dunk on you, boy. I'm about to windmill on you, son. Literally.
Hold that.
But it lands, man.
Crazy.
Not here, but it does land.
He goes straight like this.
Because think about it, though. Jake at this time, hadn't thrown a ton of overhands yet. So just like we saw that evolution from Deji to Gibb, where he was punching and you saw the punches become more crisp. You saw the hook.
Right.
He still didn't understand. Like, he still wasn't, the overhand still wasn't there yet. Like, he was still working on it.
Just the level of commitment there is, like, impressive. He just went, whoa, bro. His hand went straight behind him, bro.
He said, and there we go. Just looked straight at the floor and said, okay. It's literally some I'm a little teep. You know what I mean? It's all right here.
Bro,
I love it, though.
Bringing that hand back like this, dude, that's wild.
Just full commitment. But you see the idea is he's trying to walk Nate onto one.
Sure, yeah.
It just lets it go. And this is something, too, that I remember they talked about at the time. It is a little difficult, and I think you could attribute, you know this. It's a little difficult to fight a guy like Nate just running in like this over and over if you haven't seen it yet.
Anything right. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. He's not
Slow
boxing,
down.
So you're like...
Relax, dude.
Yeah, no, jab
2
and
punches and then clinch, get out of there.
Yep. Which, again...
What he should be doing.
What you have to do, right? Doesn't mean it was a good strategy. It's just the only one they had. Oi!
The man went on a fast break. He said, we out.
He said he
Psych.
went on a fast break.
Can't be doing that, dude. It was a half-court set.
We were supposed to be in the half-court set there. He gets tagged with a left hook here, too, kind of. And then... Just, I think, again, looking for the clinch once again behind his jab. He's like, all right, I'm just going to do what I've been doing. And
double hook.
Boom. This one lands, buddy. Hold that.
Heavy. Oh, GG's.
Already hurting.
See, when you're seeing this kind of stuff, it's over.
Yep. Tell me what you mean by that.
My head.
Yeah. You know how just like 5 minutes ago we were talking about, when you get hit, you realize if you want to be who's got it, who don't. This is what you realized who had it and who did. But the feints, though, the head movement jab.
Just ran.
Jesus. Now, how hurt is Nate right here?
Bro, look at this man.
Because I always wondered, I was like, is this pride? A little bit
it's
of emotion?
Both. When he covering his face right there,
yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but it's that thing where like you.
That's that thing where you're like, it may have hurt you and to the point where it puts you on the ground. Because I don't believe that he just flopped to the ground. I think he got cracked here.
No, yeah.
That hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because the leg buckled on it, son. But I think maybe he's now awake and realizing, shit, this is the second time I'm down here on the ground. All right, let me.
Involuntary behavior. They talk about it with like lie detector type stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but that. He's like covering his face.
Yeah. Because watch this. This is the craziest part about it, where he like starts walking around and stuff. Like right here. What? Because the referee's telling him to walk back and forth, but you just see
All
that
right, whatever,
pouting
dude.
kind of
Alright.
look, you know?
All right.
Like, all right, well, I guess I'll go here. I guess I'll do that. And then,
Oh, yeah, look.
Oh, God. That one right there is insane.
You could tell, too, he didn't want to fight right there.
That's what I'm saying. He was like, all right, whatever.
And then just ran in.
And then he gets, jabbed. Gets uppied. A little short hook. And then, the cleanest it landed all fight right there. And then, boom. Son. Let me ask you this. Which one hit harder? Jake's right hand or his head hitting the floor?
The hitting the floor. That was crazy.
It's insane. I know I've said this joke before, but I have to go back to it because it does look like Chris Brown and freaking not Stomp the Yard, but it looks like Chris Brown and freaking no, it is Stomp the Yard. And say, yo, I don't know your name.
Bro, that's crazy. His neck, too.
It lands like this, and it's a wonder that it doesn't freaking hurt him somehow.
I know.
But, man.
He's just running, bro. He didn't.
Asleep on the ground.
I remember
dog.
just being like.
Yeah, bro. It was insane.
The NBA was like, what did I just see?
So let's go back to the world's reaction because we as a community, I thought this would happen. Maybe not in that devastating a fashion, but I was like, okay, Jake's gonna stop him or beat him. But again, we talked about who this is. This is Nate Robinson, son.
Why he say that?
Dunking on NBA legends, dunking over Dwight Howard, blocking LeBron James at the rim. Like, he had all this stuff, this lineage, and he had a brotherhood, the NBA, and he goes, tonight I'm fighting for my brothers in the NBA and athletes across the world, most importantly, my children. And then my man Steph Curry came through with the let's go, Nate Robinson, hold it down. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is where the epic, now infamous phrase was born. Gonna shock the world, bro.
I see no lies.
And then Steph Curry with the absolute haymaker. This might have hurt more than Jake punching him in the face and knocking him out
Bro,
cold.
I was so surprised to see that from Steph.
Because Steph is the baby-faced assassin. He's not the guy that usually claps
And
back
he was the
like
first
that.
one. He was the first one. I see no lies.
I see no lies, he said. And dude, when I say the memes were glorious, son.
Out cold.
So this was Kerry Champion and Jamel Hill, I think the Monday after. This is how worldwide this went. It was on ESPN. Stephen A had talked to Jake, and obviously the NBA had covered it. The memes got so bad that everyone had seen it and led to the most idiotic takes in sports history like this one.
Why? I'll tell you why. And this is our question of the week. We saw what happened to Nate Robinson, so I'm going to ask Jake Paul right here in front of America. Jake, considering where we are right now in our racial conversation in America, was what you did to Nate Robinson racist?
That is the question of the week.
Man.
Nah, stop playing with me. Come on.
What?
Listen, Jake, it's a sensitive time right now. We just had to witness a white man just knock a black man smooth out in front of all of America. So that's why I asked that. But just tell us
What are
about
we doing?
that moment real quick, because it looked like Nate was.
It was one of the worst things, but I think Jake actually answers it.
Was it racist to knock a black man out?
She
asked
it again.
They go back to it?
She asked it again.
I said no.
It's not racist.
Shitty question. It's a sport.
Why is it a question? Why is it a question?
Because
Did you see her try to like get him after
what?
that too? It was so
Bro, that's
wild.
so uncomfortable. It's
The
so
most
awkward. You look
uncomfortable
like an
thing, and
idiot.
she goes back to it like, why is it a yo?
Looks like an idiot.
The funniest thing, but this is what happened. I'm saying the world went crazy.
And Jake is standing on freaking business right now.
Yeah, he's like, it's a question. What are you talking about? But this was the madness that this knockout drove people to.
Yeah, bro. They were like, NBA players don't do it.
There were people online saying Jake had to go, or Nate had to get his get back and bring Jake over and play him one-on-one as if that would have proved anything. It It was crazy. People were like, nah, you got to come play basketball now.
Yeah, the whole NBA was embarrassed.
I think the entirety of everyone was embarrassed because at that point, I think people started to go, oh, all right, well, the YouTubers, they're not as bad as we thought. And it wasn't just Jake, but Jake was kind of the catalyst to show people.
Oh, and this was it.
Oh, they're not as bad as we thought. And then obviously, then Logan came back with the Floyd and KSI came back and it all happened, but this was the start of it, man. So there is our deep dive back into influencer boxing. Jake and Nate legitimately shocked the world. Comment section.
I see no lies.
You let us know, man. Did you see any lies here?
That's rough. Watching that again is just rough because you just know what happens.
And as you guys watch this back, tell us your one moment that you remember from that fight or from the build-up, whatever it was. For me, it's watching Nate's head slide across the floor. It's just insane to go back and watch, dude. It's crazy. But what video will we cover next on the deep dive? I don't know what's next in the order, so we don't really have those answers, but the deep dive is back. Where we go next? Guess we'll find out.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.